Am I the a-hole for refusing to offer emotional support to my ex-fiancé's daughter? I, 34 male, met my ex-fiancée 6 years ago. I was 28 and she was 36. My ex had a daughter, Kayla, who was 18 around the time we started dating, only didn't meet her until a year later. She disapproved, and I get why, given that I was only 10 years older than her. Obviously, I didn't want a stepfather role, and I made sure she knew that. Just wanted us to acknowledge each other as two people who love her mom very much, and to respect one another. Kayla still hated my guts, and she never held back giving me attitude or even calling her mom a cougar. My ex told me her daughter was in therapy, and never liked anyone she dated since she and her ex-husband divorced when Kayla was 7. Things never improved. My ex and I eventually moved in with each other to a new apartment. She insisted on Kayla also moving in with us since she was in college and didn't want her to spend so much on rent. I had no problem with that. Still, Kayla never respected me as her mom's partner. Sometimes things of mine would go missing or I'd find them destroyed. Like a new watch my ex got me for my birthday. She threw a literal fit when we got engaged. The morning after, my car got keyed and I could only guess who it was since the place we lived had a private garage only we had access to. This just caused too many conflicts between my fiancé and I, since she wouldn't do anything to put Kayla in line. We broke things off 3 years ago and went about my life. It hurt, but in the end, it became too much. I found out on Facebook that my ex-fiancé passed from COVID 9 months ago. Now Kayla wants to get in touch for us to meet. She sent an apology message last month and she's asking for us to meet up for coffee. Kayla says she wants us to become friends since I was so close to her mom too, and would like that help with what she's dealing with. I thanked her for her apology, but said I don't have an interest in us meeting up. I closed that chapter in my life for a reason, and it would be better to leave this in the past. I'm glad she's apologized and acknowledged what she did, but she can understand why I don't want her in my life anymore. For a while, Kayla messaged me a few times, but I stopped replying after giving my final answer. Then, my ex's mom also messaged me because Kayla is upset and asked her to talk to me. I gave the same answer, which made her very mad. She says Kayla is a child who needs comfort and she can't believe I'm going to turn my back on her. The lady can't give Kayla the same comfort because she lives in a different country, and I'm the closest thing Kayla has to my ex since I'm so much closer and we can actually meet up regularly. I haven't replied to either of their messages, but I still read them when they come in. I want to remain firm in keeping Kayla out of my life after everything. But given that she lost her mom, am I being an a-hole because I don't want to give her the support? Now for the top comments. Not an a-hole. If Kayla was 18 years old 6 years ago, that means she's 24 years old now and not a child. She has no relationship to you, and you don't owe her anything. It's nice you accepted her apology. It was more than you had to do. You would be justified if you blocked her and her grandmother. I don't believe that Kayla is even after emotional support. I think she's planning to hit Opie up for money. It's the only reason people who have been nasty to you for years suddenly get in touch. She can never fully apologize for repeatedly ruining her late mother's chance at happiness with a new partner. Had her mother still been with Opie in a different living environment, she may still even be alive. Block her, Opie. Not an a-hole. You had no real relationship with Kayla. It makes no sense that she would want emotional support from you. It's far more likely that she wants something else, money, a free place to live, than that she wants emotional support from someone she never had a good relationship with and whose belongings she vandalized. Surprised this is the only comment saying this? I mean, it absolutely sucks losing a parent, especially in your early/mid-20s. But it sounds like she thoroughly hated Opie and was doing childish things to Opie as an adult in early 20s. When you're 21, you know damaging people's property is an illegal and crappy thing to do. I highly doubt this is purely a call for emotional help. I can almost guarantee this Kayla will be asking for financial support, place to live, etc., hoping Opie will step in as some sort of pseudo-parent, since it's the closest thing she has. Not an a-hole. This child is now in her 20s, and both she and her grandmother are asking far too much of you. It may seem harsh, but I would block them both for contacting you further. Not an a-hole. If she needs help, she can get a therapist. There are tons of qualified professionals that can help her, and it's not your responsibility to reopen those wounds to help a child. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for getting my own streaming services? My boyfriend, 28 male, has given our streaming service passwords to several of his friends. Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Disney Plus, etc. If you're someone who shares a streaming service with several people, you're probably aware that there's a cap on how many people can stream at once. Since our streaming services are being shared with so many people, he doesn't remember how many people and which of his friends he shared it with. It's very difficult to watch anything since there's always multiple people at any given time. Whenever we try to watch a show or movie together and we can't proceed because of limitations, he'll excuse it by saying, "We'll just try later when they're not watching." The issue is someone is always watching, lol. My patience began to wear thin, so I told my boyfriend, "I don't mean to be nasty, but your friends are being freeloaders. They have jobs, and if they want to use HBO Max, they can pay for their own subscription. It's really hard to watch anything I or we want to watch with so many people." He told me I'm being selfish, and that since he pays for it, he can share it with whoever he wants to. So I subscribed to a few services on my personal devices and paid for them. I was watching a show that I had been dying to watch on my laptop, and my boyfriend asked if I wanted to watch something with him. I said, "No thanks, I've been dying to catch up on this." He then said, "See? Just be patient. Not everyone is watching all the time." I said, "Oh, actually, I made my own account." He got offended because he said he already pays for subscription services, so I'm just wasting my money and being childish. Not a hole. Tell him you can do what you want with your money. Since he's not interested in giving you a say in the streaming services, you're allowed to get your own. Major not a hole. Because I pay for the streaming devices at home and my brother gave out the password to several of his friends and I would never be able to watch anything, so I just canceled the subscription and told him I'll no longer be subscribed and made a new account for myself. You could have just changed the password and logged out all of the other devices. I know some streaming services allow that. Maybe remind him that he is just your boyfriend and in no way has control of your finances. You also don't have to consult with him before you make decisions concerning your finances. Exactly. Plus, streaming services aren't crazy expensive. It's not like she's spending thousands of dollars on something useless. Definitely not a hole. He seems to be prioritizing the wants of his friends. He's not prioritizing you and the time you spend together. And he's calling you childish? Red flag. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to allow my child to stay overnight at her father's home? I'll start by saying that the issues with this man run very deep. And I'd be here all day if I was to tell you the whole story. So for this post, I just want an opinion on this particular issue. I, late 30s female, am a single mom to my daughter age 4. Her father, early 30s male, abandoned us as soon as he found out I was pregnant, and then changed his mind just before she was born. He has caused untold hell since that moment, but that's info for another post. My daughter has never stayed over at his house. He rents a tiny studio. He recently has said he may move to a house and then he'd like her to start staying over. I have refused on the following grounds. 1. He smokes grass. He smells. His home smells. She smells and her clothes and shoes smell when she comes home from a day there. I have mentioned this several times and it has got slightly better, but he still smokes it, and I'm not happy for her to stay in a home where there are Ds. Plus, I do not know who he gets it from or if it gets dropped off to him, etc. Now, I know it's not like it's meth, but I'm still not happy to have her around it, and it's been very upsetting to have her come back to me smelling of it. I have told him he will have to give it up before I let her stay over. He wouldn't smoke it when she was there, that I know. 2. The incident. When she was 2, nearly 3, I went out for the evening and he stayed at mine to watch her until I got home at 11 p.m. at which point he would leave. I live on the 4th floor of an apartment building. When I came home, up in the lift, the doors opened, and there he was, in the communal hallway about to take the lift down to the ground floor to his car, leaving a 2-year-old asleep in my home. He claims he was only popping down to the car. It's not an issue and she was asleep, so what's the big deal? I said that not only could he have been involved in an accident or something, but my main concern was as a 2-year-old she often wakes in the night. If she had woken up and been unable to find an adult in her home, she would have been absolutely traumatized. He also left the front door unlocked, and she could have gone looking for him. He says that he did not go down to his car, because I came out of the lift before he managed to get any further, so technically he didn't leave her. Obviously, my main point is that he intended to and got caught. This argument goes round in circles. So therefore, I have refused to allow him to have her overnight as he cannot be trusted. He says I'm being over the top and dredging up the past. I say I'm a good mom, and I won't have my girl in any danger whatsoever. There is a lot more detail I can elaborate if asked. But Reddit, am I the a-hole for not allowing overnight stays? Not the a-hole. But you all three need a legal custody arrangement yesterday. This issue isn't going anywhere. Not legal advice here, but chances are he'd get at least some overnight visitation, with rules, if you did so. So it's time to set expectations at a reasonable level to ensure safety, like no smoking while she's present, no leaving the house while she's present unless there's another approved adult in the house. These are totally reasonable. I wouldn't be so sure about him getting any overnights with a child coming home from visits smelling like these. So you're asking if you're the a-hole for not allowing your kid to stay the night with someone who does smoke and seems completely irresponsible basically? The answer is no, you aren't. Not the a-hole. He's never taken them when with her. His whole home stinks because he's dirty and messy and doesn't wash things properly. So the smell just lingers in all the furniture, etc. If CPS were to visit his home, would they find issue with it? Not the a-hole for trying to keep your daughter safe. To be totally honest, they have bigger fish to fry. I mean, they'd smell, and maybe if they looked, they'd find it. I have no idea where he keeps it. They'd see it's pretty dirty, but I don't think they'd have anything else to report. Thank you. Not the a-hole. First, dude proved himself irresponsible when he disappeared from the relationship the second a pregnancy happened. The fact that he got remorseful and came back doesn't, in my mind, change that much. Secondly, the smoking thing doesn't bother me that much, as long as he doesn't get wasted while the kid is there, and if it's legal. If it's not, that's a whole different thing. Third, leaving a small child home alone, even if it was just to go down to his car, is an irresponsible act. Not irredeemably irresponsible, just definitely not smart. But it's the sort of thing that you might not really think about when having a kid around is relatively new to you. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for insisting my wife stop sleeping with her makeup on? Hear me out, please. My male 33, wife female 27, was unemployed since 2019. She was down on her luck with getting a job, and 2020 made it a whole lot worse. But her new friend got her a job at a beauty salon. And I'm very happy for her and very proud because she got dealt a crappy hand in those nearly 3 years without income. Also, she developed awesome makeup artist skills. She practices a lot on her own face to come up with her own ideas, and she already has few customers that like her work. She works in the afternoon till 9 p.m., gets home, eats dinner, then goes straight to bed. Usually before I do because I go to bed at 12. So what my wife does is go to bed with her full makeup on, leaving stains on both pillows because she always tends to sleep on different sides on the bed. Why it bothers me is because of the stains and also the strong smell of the products. I talked to her about it and she took it as an I was against her wearing makeup, saying she needed to look good herself to get customers to want her service. I just pointed out that the stains she was leaving in both pillows were not cool, and since I ended up doing the cleaning because she said she was too tired to remove her makeup before going to bed. Last night, she finished eating dinner and wanted to go to bed. I asked her if she was going to bed with her makeup on, and she stood there saying yes. I informed her that I already cleaned the pillows and asked her to clean up before going to bed. She threw a fit and gave a long rant about how long and hard she works trying to provide for us, and that I was being overdramatic and paying attention to stupid little things. She wanted to just go inside a bedroom, but I stopped her and insisted she removes her makeup first. She blew up at me and called me an a-hole for not letting her sleep and rest after being on her feet all day. She grabbed a blanket and went to sleep on the couch, and she was so mad I had to go outside to cool off a bit. This morning she went radio silence, but kept giving me bitter looks, then tested me hours ago to say she was spending the night at a friend's place since I was going to make her sleep on the couch tonight as well. I don't get it. I could have been a major a-hole for causing to sleep on the couch, But I was getting tired of having to clean the pillows every day. And that's not an exaggeration. Am I the a-hole for insisting my wife to stop sleeping with her makeup on? Not the a-hole. Leaving her makeup on overnight is terrible for her skin. And at the very, very least, she could put a towel over her pillow. But yeah, she's going to ruin her skin, and I wear makeup regularly, so I'm not anti-makeup. I'm pro look after the canvas. I'm pro makeup, but you have to take it off before bed and have a good skincare routine. I can't even imagine how bad her skin must look under all that makeup. Wonder if the issue is it's so bad she doesn't want her husband to see her without it. Plus, it takes what, like 5 minutes at most to take makeup off? She could just use a makeup remover wipe and a quick rinse, since she obviously either has Teflon skin or doesn't give a crap about it. It takes less time than brushing her teeth, so it's not some major barrier to getting to sleep. This whole thing is super weird. Not the a-hole. Is your wife a child? She can learn to wash her face rather than put her energy into a temper tantrum. Leaving makeup on 24/7 is terrible for her skin too. That should get her attention. But you know, even if it weren't just the stains that you have to clean up, you told her the smell bothers you in bed, and she doesn't seem to care. That's incredibly inconsiderate. She shouldn't sleep on the couch, as that's even harder to get makeup out off, by the way. Ooh, I hate makeup smell, not gonna lie. Don't know how Opie sleeps on pillows with the smell all over. Not the a-hole. There are wipes she can get for this. It takes just seconds to remove your makeup with them.